Excuses versus your why. What do I mean by this? This is very important because all of us have a why and all of us have excuses. And the question is, which one is bigger? Wins the day. Your why has to be so big that no amount of your excuses is going to stop you from doing it. For me, in my health journey, I got a why big enough. Part of my why, I'm 7 years older than my wife. On average, men live about 5 years less. That's 12 years. I don't know about you, but that's a mighty big why for me to strive to stay healthy, to try to close that gap of 12 years. Because I want to be as healthy as I can for as long as I can for my wife. What about my son, who was born with Down syndrome and never going to leave our house, going to be living with us? I have to be in healthy condition. The older I get, the older he gets. When I think about my daughter Grace, who's 9, and I'm going to be 60 years old when she graduates high school, that's a pretty big reason why. My reasons why I stay healthy and do the healthy thing are way bigger than my excuses of what it cost, my excuses of what it tastes like, my excuses of what I have to go through. What I realize is now that I've gotten healthy, my why remains so big, my excuses have faltered off to the side. But you know who brings up excuses for me? Other people. Do you realize that when you get a why big enough and you go and start doing it, people are going to start giving excuses for you, and they want their excuses to be bigger than your why, so you'll stop. That's why when you go out and about, people will offer you things that are not on your plan, and you go, oh, I guess you can't have that. Yes, I can. I can have anything I want. I'm a 51-year-old man. I've been feeding myself for years. If I want to eat it, I can eat it. Nobody's telling me I can't have it. It's a choice. Do you realize you get to make a choice today? You get to make a choice today as to whether or not your why is going to be big enough to stomp out the excuses in your life. For many of us, we're living a lie that you can't do something because you've given an excuse that you think is big enough. I promise you, your excuses will never be bigger than my why for my own life. But until you get a why big enough, excuses will win the day. Who's winning your day? Your excuses or your why? Yes, I talked about the health side of it. It's the same thing with my mental work. It's the same thing with my relational work. It is the same thing with my spiritual journey. Oh, I can't go to that church anymore because so-and-so did something. So you just don't go to church at all? Like you just abandon God's holy word and say, I'm just not going to go at all. My excuses are bigger than my why. Why do I go? Because it's the body of Christ, and the body of Christ is meant to come together. That's what church is a gathering of God's people. To love one another, to share one another's burdens, to lift each other up, to care for each other. Your excuses and your why are at war with each other. Which one is winning? What are you using as your why? If you don't have a why, you are giving excuses. And here's how you know you're giving an excuse. I would love to do this, or I want to do this, but whatever follows the word but is an excuse. Something I've been doing with my kids these past few weeks. Is your room straightened up? No, my room's not straightened up, but I just stop. There's excuses. There's no reason to give excuses when your why is big enough. You find purpose with passion. And I'm pursuing my purpose with passion. Hey, holy and healthy living is what this Jesus follower is about. I want you to go conquer your day. But you're not going to do it if you're giving excuses. So you can go conquer your life. Life is over like that. It's hard to believe I'm 51 and life is still flying by. Message me. When you're ready to get on a health journey, message me. Now's the time. Let's talk about your why. When we talk, that's all we're going to talk about, your why. When you get a why big enough, your excuses go out the door.